What's going on, everyone? I hope you've been having an awesome week. I'm about to jump back into another mock interview simulation here. We're going to find a real job posting and get started. And a huge shout out to those of you who have been joining the live stream and sending in your job postings. I hope these have been helping. And for those of you I know have interviews coming up next week, good luck. Let me know how it goes. All right, today we are using monster.com to find our next job. And shout out to my new friend Anne from Monster. Hopefully you get a chance to see this, Anne. I think you'll enjoy it. Let's look for a job in sales today, one of the more popular searches, and find a posting we can use for today's live stream. So something in sales. And as always, everyone, if you have a job posting you want me to use in the live stream so we can talk through it, get a sense of how it works, send it my way. Let's look for something. I'm sure there's a sales role here. Send it my way either in the comments or DM me, and we can use it in the live stream, talk through it, get a sense of what the questions are going to be like, and as always, try to have some fun with it too. All right, let's see here. Uline, I think I have seen that one before. Oh, this is a cool one. Sales rep in Florida for Champion Pet Foods. Let's do it. All right. So all I'm going to do, as always, is copy this posting, and you can see my results from last time. I think it was a couple days ago. I tried to apply for a job as a tutor, and it went very well for those of you who are joining that live stream. So I'm going to jump over to the interview simulator, put in my description here from the job posting, and let that generate. All right. And I'm keeping an eye on the chat, everyone. For those of you who have questions, send your questions along. We will take a look at them together. And I'm going to switch my screen share now to this screen specifically so you can hear the audio as well. And I'm going to try something a little. Actually, no, we're good to go here. All right, Chrome tab with audio. So we've got this territory sales representative position at Champion Pet Foods in Florida. The main responsibilities are to establish and maintain productive relationships with retail and distribution accounts. So I'm guessing these are like pet stores and places like that. Manage budget, increase brand awareness. So lots of little things that go along with this role. And we're going to cut down. I'm just going to randomly kind of cut this one down so it's not too long of an interview today. All right, let's give it a shot.
Hello. Good morning/afternoon and welcome to the interview. I'm John, the hiring manager for the territory sales representative position at Champion Pet Foods. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well today, John. It's nice to meet you. Excited for this opportunity. And I'm curious, do you have a favorite animal or a pet of your own that got you interested in this line of work?
Oh, absolutely. I'm actually a big fan of dogs. I have a goofy golden retriever named Max who brings so much joy to my life.
That's awesome. I have a goofy little guy as well. His name is Boss, and he is a Shih Tzu. And I have a Maltese as well named Soleil, and they are a lot of fun to spend time with.
Oh, Boss and Soleil sound like a fun duo. Pets really do bring so much joy to our lives, don't they? Now, let's dive into the interview. So, tell me about your previous experience in outside sales. Any specific achievements or challenges you faced?
So as always, everyone, I'm going to go through this interview, give you a chance to get a sense of, the questions you might be asked if you apply for a sales role. And again, this is for a real position. So two things. If you're interested in this role and you have questions, just send me your questions in the chat. We can talk through it as we go into this interview. Um, if you're interested in this actual position, let me know. I'll send you the job posting. Again, we got this from Monster today, so it's currently available and one that you could actually apply for. I'm not sure how many of you are from the Florida area, but um, hey, maybe a reason to move to Florida if you needed any extra reason. It sounds awesome down there. All right, let's get into it here. I have a ton of experience in sales, John. I have done sales for um, primarily software in my past, but I have taken on a full cycle sales role. So I've done everything from research the market space to organizing sales campaigns to taking initial discovery meetings, um, right through to a close, making sure that our new potential customers understand our products and services, are happy with them, and then I've also taken on a nurturing role after that to make sure that they continue to be happy and have the support they need once they are customers of ours. So I think in this role, I'd be able to use a lot of my previous experience to establish and maintain some of the relationships that you have for your brand. So hopefully you're noticing there, I tried to mention a couple specific things from the job posting itself. So if you were here at the beginning, we looked at the job posting and it said things like um, the main responsibility is to establish and maintain relationships. So that's why I said it that way. How does that sound, John?
That sounds great. Now let's shift gears and talk about your previous experience in outside sales. Any specific achievements or challenges you faced?
I think one of my most significant achievements is developing long-term relationships with some of my previous customers. So I primarily, as I mentioned, worked in software sales. And so I've actually spent, a number of years slowly getting to know many different people in the organizations that I've worked with, and teaching them. I've spent a lot of time teaching them how to use the software for different use cases. So, for instance, one organization I worked with, I actually started off our relationship by being on site with them, teaching them about the software, physically being there in person. Even though it was something we could have done online, I spent a little extra time with them, and over a number of years, more and more people in the organization started using that software until eventually we had an enterprise, arrangement with the entire company. And so um, I think it comes down to the software being useful, but also spending time, getting to know the people who are using it, so they have someone that they feel comfortable with, if they have questions that they can reach out to, and of course, just explaining to them the different ways it can be used for their purposes specifically. So that's kind of the approach I would take in this role. Is I would like to get to know your existing clients, spend some time getting to know the new ones, and building these strong relationships.
That's impressive. Building long term relationships and becoming a trusted resource for your customers is definitely a valuable skill. Speaking of skills, can you tell me about your experience with objection handling in sales?
All right. So for those of you just joining us, welcome to the live stream. Thanks for being here. Um, this is not meant to be like a presentation or anything. Like if you have questions, send them in the chat. I try to do these every day just so that you can get a chance to see questions like this. If you're interested in a sales role, now you can kind of see the questions you might get asked in an interview. So don't feel like you're going to interrupt me. Um, as I say, I do these every day. Um, and the idea is not to go through it in one shot or anything. I'm here to answer your questions, hopefully make it a little bit easier for you the next time you're in an interview. So if you have thoughts, if you have concerns about a question, or just questions in general, send them in the comments or feel free to DM me afterwards, and send me the job postings you're interested in because I'll put those in the live stream too. But thank you for being here. All right, we're moving on to this question about objection handling. Speaking of skills, can you tell me about your experience with objection handling in sales? So this is a chance to use something called the STAR model. And I talk about this all the time because it's a useful structure. And you'll hear me go through it in this next answer. It's a way to organize your response. It's a way to talk about a situation you were in, the tasks you were responsible for, the actions you took to complete that task, and ultimately the results you were able to achieve. So when they ask you about your skill and experience with objection handling, hopefully you can think of a specific story that you can tell. Because you don't want to just say something like, "Oh, I'm great with objection handling," right? I can do it. It's a lot more memorable if you tell a story. I have had a lot of experience with objection handling, John, and one specific instance that comes to mind is I was talking to a customer who uh, came into one of my stores. I used to work in retail, and they seemed like they were in a big hurry. And so I approached them just to see if I could offer any help. My job is to just introduce myself to anyone who comes into the store and let them know about some of the offers we have. So I went over. I just said, "Hey, my name is Imran. I'm excited to have you here today. Is there anything you're looking for?" And they kind of expressed the urgency of their situation. They were there to just buy a new pen that day, but we had a high end pen store, um, and they were trying to make this good impression on their client. They wanted to have a fancy pen to sign their next big contract with. So I ended up showing them a couple different options, just talking to them, getting to know them a little bit, and it turns out, that their grandfather used to be a calligrapher, so they were also hoping to find a pen that they could try learning calligraphy with. And so I ended up selling them this incredible pen, um, really eye catching, and one that they could use for their, um, contract signing, but also one they could use to learn a little bit more about this previous interest of their grandfather. But the lesson I learned from it and what I would use in this role is if you take a little bit of time to get to know the customer, then when you come up against objections, like, of course, this person was a little concerned about spending a lot of money on this pen. It was easy to explain to them, look, you could get a pen that's really cheap, but you won't be able to use it to do calligraphy. Um, and that made it a lot easier to overcome the objection, if you will, because I understood what they were ultimately hoping to do with this product. So that's just one example.
That's a great example of objection handling. Imran, understanding your customer's specific needs and finding a solution that addresses them is key. Now, what motivated you to apply for the territory sales representative position at Champion Pet Foods?
Okay. My last answer was pretty long. For those of you listening, I apologize. I'm kind of working through it as I go here. But hopefully, you saw me go through those steps, the situation I was in, the task, action, and result. And then I tried to connect that experience to this job. What specifically um, did I learn from that experience that I could use in this role? All right, let's keep going here. I applied to this position because I am passionate about pets. As I mentioned, I have two of my own, and I enjoy sales. I like getting to know people, and I think I can combine that passion for pets of my own with enthusiasm for this product and making sure that people feel like they're finding the right um, type of food for their pets and the individual animals that they care about.
That's fantastic, Imran. Combining your passion for pets with your sales skills sounds like a perfect fit for this role. Now, let's talk about your technical skills. Are you proficient in MS Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and CRM programs?
Before I jump into answering that question, um, hopefully you caught something in that last answer of mine. When he asked, "Why are you applying for this position?" I've heard a lot of people answer this question with, "Well, I'm trying to get work experience. I'm trying to pay off my student debts." Um, all these personal reasons, which are, of course, valid, honest reasons. But just remember that we're in a job interview context here. So if you say something like, "Well, I'm looking to get work experience," and I'm John, I'm going, "Okay, well, that doesn't make it sound like you're specifically interested in helping our company, right? And these are just people. They're trying to find someone who can help them reach their goals. So if your motivation is to get work experience and someone else's motivation is to, share their passion for pets, it makes it a little bit easier to pick the person that has shared something related to the job and helping the company. Now, I'm not saying, that you can't mention you're trying to get work experience, but just give it some thought. Try to be tactful and consider the context that you're in here, and put yourself in John's shoes. Put yourself in the employer's shoes. Is there something else you could be talking about that motivated you to get this job? Do you like pets? Do you like sales? Do you like whatever it is that is relevant to the field you're applying for? Yes, I'm extremely proficient with MS Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and actually some of the deeper level programs like Visual Basic. So very comfortable using those programs to stay organized.
That's impressive, Imran. Your proficiency in MS Office programs and even Visual Basic will definitely come in handy for staying organized and managing your tasks. Now, let's discuss a situational question. How would you handle a situation where a retail customer is hesitant to stock Champion pet foods due to concerns about price?
I think that'd be very similar to the situation I was in, where I was offering the expensive pen. I would want to get to know the, in this case, distributor and what their goals are. If they're looking to stock high quality pet food that people will purchase, I might express that to them, but I would need to talk to them first. And, that's probably the interest of most distributors, but sometimes people need to say that out loud to remind themselves. They don't want just the cheapest available pet food in their store. That's not going to lead them to having a strong reputation among pet owners who, in my experience, are willing to pay extra money for a good product. I'm the kind of person who, if I see a good Halloween costume for my my dogs, I want to get it because it's so much fun. They're such a big part of my family, and I want them to have the best. I don't want to buy the cheapest option for them. Um, that being said, I know everyone has different restrictions, but I think at the core, we want to take care of our pets. So I would try to have that conversation with them. And if they're concerned about price, I would, again, hopefully have had a conversation with our team that makes it easy for them to feel like they don't need to overcommit to purchasing our product, but that they should give it a try because I think pet owners will value having that high quality option.
Absolutely, Imran. Understanding the value and quality of Champion pet foods and conveying that to the distributor, while also addressing their concerns about price, is key. It's all about finding that balance and highlighting the benefits of our premium pet food. Now, do you have any questions for me about the position or the company?
I'm just wondering when I can expect to hear back from you about the whether or not I'll get an offer.
Oh, I totally understand your excitement. Imran, we have a few more interviews scheduled, but I'll make sure to get back to you with an update within the next week.
That sounds great. Well, thank you for your time today, John.
You're welcome, Imran. It was a pleasure getting to know you. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out. Good luck and have a great day.
All right. So I know a lot of people wonder that at the end of the interview, when are you going to hear back? Is it appropriate to ask that? I think it's situational. It depends on kind of the rapport you built with the interviewer. But I think a basic question like, when can I expect to hear back? Or can I follow up with you in 2 weeks if I haven't heard anything is pretty standard practice these days. I think it's okay to do that. So give that a try. And all right, looks like we got the job offer. So we gave some good answers today. I actually spoke a little bit slower. I think that might be because I'm still feeling a little bit sick, so I can't speak as fast as I normally do. But I may have to take a note from how I've done today and slow it down a little. Let's take a look at some of the advanced feedback here. It may take a second because it was a pretty long interview in there. We were in there about almost, 15 minutes. But again, hopefully that's helpful, everyone. The idea here is, I'm not necessarily going to go out and apply for this job, um, but I want you to see what it's going to be like. So I'm happy to do these interviews every day so that people get a chance to see, you know, what might be in store for them when they apply to these jobs. And if you want to see one of these jobs done, send me a link. Send me a link to the jobs you're interested in. And I'll try them so you can sit back and relax and watch, what might be in store for you down the road. Okay, let me see here an answer I didn't do so well on. Any specific challenges you faced? Okay. Candidate provided a detailed example of building a long-term relationship, but could have mentioned a challenge they overcame. Good to know. It's easy to kind of get sidetracked when you're answering these questions and miss a part of it. So this is a good reminder here. I didn't fully answer the question. I will try to do that better next time. But thank you for being here, everyone. Joining another live stream. As I say, reach out, connect with me afterwards if you have questions, and I will see you next time. So good luck to anyone with a job interview between now and then, and I will see you all soon.